Hi, I'm Kim Summers Egelsee, and I'm here at the beautiful Huntington Beach Central Park to be the expert of the month for Money Savvy Woman. And I'm going to be talking to you today about creating the spaces for greatness and success to come into your life, and how you can really get rid of the clutter and the negativity in your life and make that space for greatness, success, and amazing opportunities, and especially fulfillment to come in. Now, the reason that creating the spaces for greatness is so important is, imagine in your life, this is you, and you have a huge bubble around you. We only have so much space to fit in everything in our lives. So if you have time with friends, your family members, your spirituality, your fitness and wellness, maybe your personal growth, your career, all of the different things that are important to you, what's taking up your time? We're not superheroes, and so sometimes that bubble around us is too full. And a lot of times it's full with unnecessary tasks or things that we're really not fulfilled or not joyful about doing. And so the most important thing is to get really clear on what is filling our space. So one of the things you can start by doing is draw a diagram, make a stick figure, and make a representation of all the things you're doing in your life. What's taking up your energy and your time? Maybe you're spending an extra hour sorting through emails. Maybe you're spending time going to lunch with someone that you don't really even enjoy going to lunch with. So count those things as well. What's taking up your time? How much time is your career taking up? How much time are you spending on your fitness? And make that chart and just really look at it and decide which one of these things are positive, which ones are negative, and which ones are in between, and what can I really eliminate to make that space for greatness. Once we really get rid of the things that aren't needed in our lives, that's when the good stuff comes in. That's when the opportunities come in. So you need to look through and sort through everything and be able to make that space. Next, you're going to make another chart of a stick figure of yourself and fill in what you really want. What do you want to fill in the spaces that you make for greatness? You're going to be able to eliminate some of that stuff that you didn't need, some of that in-between and negative stuff that was in the old chart, which is going to leave space for new things to come in. And sometimes those can feel uncertain or uncomfortable, but get excited about them. And the way to do that is to make a chart of what you really want to enter the spaces you make in your life. It could be a general heading like love life, or career opportunity, or new associations, or new spiritual growth. You decide, but that way you have some sort of vision of what you want to enter the space so that you can create your own fulfilling life. Now, it's very important after you're clear on what you want that you practice positivity. Practicing positivity makes perfect. That's easy to remember. So you have to be aware of your associations. Who are you hanging out with? That's a big one. You hang out with the wrong people who are adding negativity to your life, it's going to make it hard for anything to fill those spaces, because those spaces, which are basically just energy, are going to be filled with negativity and you're not even realizing it. So you've got to ask yourself, are those people, are those associations around me soothing me, supporting, uplifting, and encouraging me? And if they're not, what am I doing with those people? Now, it's different if it's family or somebody that you work with, but for the most part, just be really careful who your associations are. You also need to make sure that you're taking action. Are you taking action towards things to make things come into your space? So even little baby steps toward what you want, just make sure you're taking some sort of action and adding in a positive attitude while you do so. Another one that's very important is life balance. Making sure that you're not doing too much of one thing. Making sure that you're not getting yourself all stressed out or unfocused because you're worrying too much about what's going on in your life, or you're focusing too much on lack. Really have balance and focus on things that you love and focus on what you want to come into that space. The next important tool to remember for making spaces for greatness in your life is awareness, and attitude equals altitude. Your awareness, which I'll explain, and your attitude really determines how high you're going to soar, the altitude of the success you're going to achieve. Now, part of what we're doing today is sculpting that success, is really consciously creating the space around us and what we're going to fill it with and what we're going to eliminate. And so, how aware are you of what you're doing every day? How aware are you of the attitude that you're radiating out, of the associations you're hanging out with, of the decisions you're making, of what you're focusing on? Are you focusing on lack? Are you focusing on not having what you want? Or are you focusing on what you're going to have, what you want to have, or what you will have? The most powerful way to focus is on what you will have, or what you already have, but it just maybe hasn't shown up in that space yet. So make sure your attitude is a positive one. You'll start to notice. Just do a little test. Go into the grocery store and say something nice to someone, and almost always you're going to get that back to you as well, at least with a smile. So what you radiate out, you will get back. So be aware of your attitude, be aware of what you're doing, the decisions you're making, and that's going to ensure that you soar to success and make spaces filled up with fulfillment and things that you want. Now that you're aware of the different tools and techniques on how to fill your spaces with fulfillment and greatness and success, you're on the right path. So next, you want to be so aware that you're creating consciously. Really get curious about where your life has been, where it is now, and where you're going. And make the decision that you're going to consciously decide, okay, I'm going to make this happen. I'm not going to wait around for it to happen. And sometimes that takes creating your own opportunities and jumping into them. So for example, if you're a speaker, you plan your own events, you have people help you market them, and you jump into speaking. If you're a writer, you write to 4 or 5 magazines and say, can I write for your magazines, and get some experience. You're consciously creating those steps toward what you want to do instead of just sitting back and waiting for the opportunity to come to you. Now, the most important thing is to make sure whatever you do related to filling these spaces, you do it with energy and enthusiasm, spirit and spunk. You have to have that excitement about your life and about yourself. It's okay to feel like you love yourself and that you deserve the best, because then you're walking the walk and talking the talk and living by example, and you're helping others as well as doing what you dream of doing. And so really make sure that you're executing everything with energy and with enthusiasm. And if you have trouble and you feel like you're not clear, get an accountability partner, or join a mastermind group, or just start going to networking events or workshops or something where you can meet the people that'll really understand. You know, once in a while I meet with my accountability partner and we just have a goal setting session, and we give each other feedback on our goals and help each other see them clearer. Because sometimes when we're in our own skin, we just have trouble seeing it as clear as other people can see it for us. It's very often that I'll be speaking and I'll say, how many of you ever ask maybe 5 to 8 people close to you for feedback? And most of the time, no one raises their hand. This is one of the most amazing things you can do, because they will see gifts in you that you don't see in yourself. So you can just ask them, what gifts do you see in me? What talents do you think I have? How do you see me? What constructive criticisms can you give me? You can email them these questions. And many times you'll have these common gifts that you see, and you'll say, my gosh, I found it. I found my purpose. I found my passion. I found what to fill those spaces with. Now you have the awareness and the tools and techniques to really figure out how to fill those spaces with amazing things. You have the awareness that this space that you have can only fill up so much. So you need to remove the clutter, remove the negativity, and allow there to be spaces so that greatness and amazing things flow in. Things that you dream of, things that you really want. Sometimes it's just eliminating one association and like 50 amazing things come into your life, or new people. And so just remember to keep up that positive attitude and the positive communication, spend time with amazing associations, and really sculpt your life by design. And great things will flow in. Money, success, passions, your purpose, all kinds of things, and your life will be better than ever.